the heart-rending story of Tyler Clementi, who ended his life. Clementi's parents released a statement today saying, quote, "Our hope is that our family's personal tragedy will serve as a call for compassion."
Yesterday, police identified the body of the 18-year-old Rutgers University freshman and talented violinist who jumped off the George Washington Bridge to his death last week. Jumping off the GW Bridge. Sorry. He posted these words to his Facebook account. Megan Meyer was 13 when she hanged herself after receiving cruel messages, supposedly from a teenage boy. 17-year-old Alexis Pilkington killed herself after a slew of harassing email messages.
I grappled with my own sexuality, but I had enough support from my friends and family to know that who I am is not defined by what makes me different. There were friends who stopped talking to me, one of whom did so because she claimed I was coming on to her. We had been best friends for 3 years. There were a lot of times when I treated my sexuality more like a disease than a facet of who I am. And I became more determined to label it than to understand it. There were times when I thought about suicide, thinking if I couldn't feel normal, that I didn't want to feel anything. What really helped me through that period of my life was a friend I had made that same year. He was also dealing with his own sexuality and was probably the only openly gay boy at our school. More than anyone else, I felt like I could talk to him. When girls would laugh at me or call me things like such an effing lesbian behind my back, having him there to tell me how insignificant their opinions were helped me to ignore them. Having him there to tell me that I didn't have to label my sexuality, I didn't have to choose between men and women or justify my attraction to both, helped me come to peace with myself. I could be confused, and that was okay. I could not fully understand my sexuality, and that was okay too. I learned that the possibility that I may like both sexes didn't make me bad or what I felt any less legitimate. But it was because I reached out to people, that I had friends who stuck by me, even if all they could do was listen, that helped me realize that no one had the right to decide that for me. In the end, I learned that I was just Kyle. In 1963, 4 girls died in the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. Their death was the result of prejudice hatred so severe, their lives were taken in a place where they should have felt safe. The reaction was uproar, but it took almost 40 years for these men to be brought to justice. Today, 5 more children have died as a result of prejudice hatred so severe, they were driven to take their lives in a place where they should have felt safe. The reaction is similar. But Tyler Clementi, Billy Lucas, Seth Walsh, Asher Brown, and Raymond Chase should not have to wait 40 years to see action taken against the hatred that drove them to suicide. Nor should what happened to them be reduced to a 2-page spread in People magazine. This problem is not limited to sexuality. Bullying preys on anyone who appears to be vulnerable, and moreover, it can be prevented. If anyone listening today is currently the victim of a bully, don't let them get away with it. Don't keep quiet because you think it'll mean less trouble for you. Tell someone. If you see someone getting harassed, tell someone. No one deserves to be abused for who they are, but ultimately my point in making this speech is to tell anyone who thinks otherwise, you are not alone. Even if you have that one person you can talk to, that advocate, it really can make all the difference. All the people here today are people you can talk to, including myself. Know that it can and will get better.